You're listening to Spin It, a spin on digital marketing. We are spinning the discussion about everything web, graphics, digital marketing, and much more. And we're here to help get your business's online presence back on track. Join the team as we spin it.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to this episode of Spin It. I am Cheryl O'Hearn with Spin Market, and we are lucky, not just lucky, we're very happy to have our guest speakers today. And we have Jill Nelson with the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance, the community director, and we have Lydia Schuur with the Growth Alliance, who is the community's communication specialist.
Yes, good morning.
Great. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, ladies. Happy Monday.
Hello. Yeah.
Well, we have a very fun topic that we're going to talk about today. And again, this is in regards to our video series that we've been doing. We're going to have a new video that'll be released here in just a few days, and we wanted to make sure that everybody knows all about it. So let's talk about what that video is and where it's at. And I'm going to start with you, Jill. Let's visit a little bit about it. You tell everybody what we're doing.
Well, first of all, I cannot believe that this is the last video of our series.
Yes.
This is something we've been working on for all of 2022, but even before that with the planning phases, it was a good 6 months before that. So it's kind of crazy to see this series, this project come to an end. So it's been a 10 video series featuring members of the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance. For those of you that are listening that maybe, you're unfamiliar with what our organization is, we are the Community and Economic Development Organization for Fort Dodge and Webster County, and we also service the Chamber of Commerce. So we have a variety of members, lots of members, businesses, individuals, nonprofits, all that stuff. And so this project features 10 of those members. And this one is of One Vision. They are a nonprofit organization here in Fort Dodge. They also have a couple of other locations across Iowa, and it features Kelly Hines.
Yes, exactly. Let's before we go into that, let's talk a little bit more about the Growth Alliance and what it's all about. Since this is rounding up our last of our videos here, let's talk about how does this work with having a Chamber of Commerce type of an organization and an economic development? I think some people don't always realize that they really do have separate roles, but can and do work well together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a perfect time to talk about it because of One Vision. This business that we're going to be talking about focuses on quality of life, and so it's like a perfect tie-in, Cheryl, to what you were just talking about. So there's a lot of, I would say the majority of communities probably, they work with a model where they have a Chamber of Commerce and then they have a separate organization that focuses just on economic development. And 10 years ago, way back in 2012, there was a group of leaders in the community. And honestly, it was a grassroots effort, I think, that came forward. And these leaders were like, I think that we have two organizations that are really working towards the same goal. And that's growth, that's progress. We want the region to be successful. So why not just do it together? Because they, realize that you can't recruit a business here unless you have a great place for them to live and a great community and stuff for them to do and amenities and housing and, recreational activities. All of that just goes hand in hand. You have to have stuff for your employees to do when they're not working. So they just decided to merge those two organizations. And so that's what we are today, the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance.
Exactly. Well, and I think that's a lot of people don't maybe realize what a Chamber of Commerce is. while they work with more of the smaller businesses, those smaller businesses are such a critical part in the economic development end, because they're the supporting business for any kind of economic development that's coming into the community, because that's what they're looking for when they're investigating, checking us out, making sure we're a good fit for them. So everything plays together. And then, of course, you add in your county and your city and your state government, and all of them have an integral part of making a community successful.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and a lot of people don't realize that our largest category, I guess if we had to split our membership into categories, our largest would be small businesses. So we have a lot of them in our community, and like you said, they are kind of the backbone of what we do, and there's a lot of history within our small businesses too, and family owned, great people that live here. We've featured several of them on our project, our video series here.
Exactly, and the video series has been designed to really showcase some of the businesses that a lot of people didn't even know really existed out there, because there's a lot of hidden gems within the community that we know of or hear of, but maybe haven't spent that much time learning more about. And that's been what's been so fun about this video series. And the fact that this video series will stay out there as long as you guys want to keep it up and going.
Right. Yeah.
But and as we were talking earlier, watching how the videos that came out first are constantly still getting new views and going forward. So it's one of these things that it's not just sending it out there once and done. It's always out there promoting our community and showing everybody what Fort Dodge and the region is all about.
Yeah, I love that about these videos. They really are just they're like a love story to Fort Dodge, and I love it.
There you go.
It's
That's
so great.
They are.
What a great analogy there. We hadn't thought. Took us all 10 videos to come to the love story part.
Who doesn't love a love story?
Oh, we just need a little bit of music. How about that, Caleb?
Yeah,
can you
edit?
pull up the theme song from Love Story for us on here? That would be fun.
Yeah, it's like telling the story, really, of like all these business owners and their business and why they love working here and
living here. And,
yes, raising their families here. And
well, and that brings us to our next video, our last video in the series, which when we talk about Kelly, who is in this video, she brings up very much what you guys just said. So let's start. We'll talk about One Vision, and I'll turn this over to Jill.
Yeah. So Kelly Hines is featured in the video, and I would say one of my favorite quotes of hers, I think she said, Fort Dodge is a small community with a big heart. And so that just goes right along to what Lydia was saying. And that just kind of describes it perfectly. But she works for One Vision. One Vision, like I said earlier, they're also in a couple of other locations, but here in Fort Dodge, and they assist individuals who have disabilities. So really they try to give these individuals meaningful work and give them job opportunities, help them learn job skills, but also soft skills, so that they can give back to the community. They can have a place in the community, and like I said, live a meaningful life, do meaningful work, have friends. All of that stuff, I would say, is kind of wrapped up into what they do as an organization.
Yes, and Kelly mentions she has a lot of great partnerships with different businesses in the community who employ the clients of One Vision, and she makes a point of that there are all these great partnerships that have been created.
Well, and that's a theme that has gone through all 10 of these, is the partnership with the other businesses.
Yes,
every one of them has said the same thing, and in Kelly's situation, it's really important because these clients that they have do have disabilities and do require a little bit additional attention. And so the businesses have to be very engaged with Kelly and her crew and her other fellow employees to understand what needs to be provided for them as far as the hard skills. And of course, then they work really closely with the employer to make sure the soft skills are covered as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think in a time where, we're hearing more and more of the workforce needs out there, One Vision plays an integral role in the solution for that, because they are teaching these individuals those skills, that they need to go into a business. And, for example, maybe they are stocking shelves, or maybe they are, folding shirts at a retailer or something like that. It's work that needs to be done. And it provides those individuals a way to contribute and to give back. And like I said, have some sort of meaningful work to do during the day.
Well, and they take such pride in what they do as well. So you'll see that in the video, in the conversation on it. So that's Opportunity. It started out as Opportunity Village and then is now known as One Vision. So if somebody was used to that name before, they'll know that that's what it is today. And they have grown. I think they're one of the largest, especially in the Mason City and Clear Lake area, one of the largest nonprofit employers in that area. And then they have several other locations around the state, which included Fort Dodge.
Yeah.
On there. Some of the other things that were brought up in the video is talking about what Kelly's employers found about her when she started working there. They felt right away something that Kelly didn't even know was there or didn't realize it was there, but they saw leadership in it. And she talks about how they encouraged her to be part of the Leadership Fort Dodge, which she's now on the steering committee after going through the program.
Yeah, she is. I've heard that from Kelly over the years, is that they have absolutely invested in her and given her a lot of just different opportunities to, learn or to attend trainings, that type of thing. And like I said, invested in her as a person and as a leader in that company, which is really great from an employer to do that. But yeah, she is on our Leadership Fort Dodge steering committee. So I've personally gotten to know her really well over the last, 5 to 8 years working on that project with her. And yeah, I think she's a great role model, and just a great leader in the community, but also, specifically on that steering committee.
Yep, it's great to have her on there, and she comes up with great programs every month where her program is, and then bringing other stuff in there as well. Some of the other things that she brought up is talking about when a person moves into a community, maybe they come in for a job or whatever reason out there, they don't just come in by themselves. They bring their family. And she really goes into that in the video, talking about how important the quality of life is for that family and how important and how the community embraces the families that come in.
And when they move here, it's like they look at the community as a whole. And, sometimes there's a couple of other, job opportunities on the table for them, and they're trying to make the decision of, do I move here and work? Do I maybe move here and work, or here? Lots of opportunity, and it comes down to where's the place that's going to provide the best quality of life for us.
Exactly.
I mean, that's honestly the situation that occurs. And in the video, Kelly talked about the One Vision plays a big role in that, because if that family is moving with an individual with a disability, like One Vision provides a great avenue for them.
Exactly, on there, and they can feel secure because of their years of providing these services. Very, very well established, and has a great rapport with the communities that they're in and the businesses that they work with. So it is an important part. Then it also goes back to, this is the same comments that have been brought out through all 10 of the videos. And we really encourage everybody, the videos are only a couple minutes long, and to go in and listen to each one of them, because you'll hear information that all of them bring out, but yet you also learn a lot about each individual business and things that nobody knew before. We talked about on the Micos and Matt. Just the name.
Micos.
Yes. I said Micos, and that's exactly what most people say, but it's Micos and Matt.
Yep.
So just a lot of information there, and these videos really bring out our community and a great representation of our community. I think that's the other thing that's really exciting to see on that.
Very positive representation. And you can find so much to appreciate about our community by watching these videos. And like you had mentioned, learn new things about a business, and you may be more willing to frequent that retail store or something if you feel that connection after learning more, or check out a church if you feel like the pastors were personable in the video. It's really cool.
Well, and that brings another point. These are perfect videos that anybody within our community or region wants to use on their different social media, their website, whatever it is. If they want to showcase what the community is about, especially if they're in recruiting, which we know most businesses around here are always looking for employees and bringing people in, these are excellent ways for them to use for workforce recruiting on there, and to show just personalities and different businesses and get them to feel comfortable, because, if they watch a video and they want to reach out to any of these businesses, it's an excellent opportunity to learn more information.
Yes, very true.
And then, of course, come back to the Growth Alliance.
Yes.
And talk to us as well on there.
We would love that.
Yes. Cool. So what else is, anything else going on at the Growth Alliance as we wind down our year?
Yeah, so as we wind down our year, we, just like I think everybody else, we're always looking ahead to 2023 and making plans and strategizing as to what we want that year to look like for us. And, we're excited to be wrapping up this year-long project. And so we're just kind of making plans to what we want to do next. It's been really cool to be able to highlight 10 members in this way. And it's great for the Growth Alliance, but it's also been really great for our businesses too. So, in that aspect, we're brainstorming ways as to how we can continue highlighting and promoting our members. But it is also membership renewal time. So thanks for bringing up 2023, Cheryl, because you give me the chance to talk about this. So, we have a lot of members in the community. And so we just, we ask their support every year with their annual membership dues. And, we send out advance notices with that just to remind people that it's coming up, and we allow people to kind of the pay now or pay later model. And we encourage that if anybody has like questions about what we do as an organization, if kind of like what they get, like what's the benefit of being a member, like we love to talk with people about that, because we have a list of all these tangible tools and resources. That's the word that we use. Tools and resources specific for our members. And we just love sharing all that information with members and non-members alike, because whether you're a member or not, like we want our businesses and our community as a whole to succeed.
Well, and I want to throw in there, if anybody is listening to these podcasts, well, we know you're listening to these podcasts. I shouldn't say if anybody is. We know you are. But what we want to encourage you is be engaged. If you're looking for something to be part of in the community, contact the Growth Alliance. Maybe it's not necessarily with the Growth Alliance, but maybe it's with another organization. But that's where they come into play in providing you some ideas and some suggestions based on maybe your employment, your family, your interest, whatever it may be. And this is a great opportunity for you to learn more about the Growth Alliance, then learn about where you might be able to play a very integral part in growing this community. That goes back to Kelly, learning about Leadership Fort Dodge, attending the year-long program, and then becoming a steering committee member for several years. It's a perfect example of that. So we do encourage you to reach out to the Growth Alliance or to any of the businesses that you see in this series and just ask questions and see what you can do and what you can do to be part of the community, because we all know that plays such an important part. And the more that we work together, the better our community becomes, and it becomes a bigger love story.
Absolutely.
I think we've got to find that song and just put it on there.
Copyright.
Yeah.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Well, that's why we bring Caleb on here. He's our production dude for the program. So he keeps us in line. Even though we have great ideas, he's going to make sure that we play by the rules, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, again, thank you so much. I'll be watching for the One Vision video that'll be coming out in the next few days.
Yeah, and before we wrap this up, I did want to say that it has really been fun for us to work with you guys and the team here at Spin Market, not just on the video series, but allowing us to come on your podcast as well. And the process for all of this has been really great for us. And I think that Lydia and I, we can both say that we learned a lot. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you guys have been great to work with.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Oh, well,
I've enjoyed this whole process. It's so much fun.
Well, and we brought up during the earlier on how long it took us to put this together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know that businesses always realize when I say, okay, August, you need to start planning for your next year. Mm-hmm. It's really very important. If you want to have it well put together and organized, and that's how this one has gone. It's just been it's been very fluid. Everything that we've worked on, there hasn't really been any bumps in the roads. It's just nice and fluid and going out and great discussion. And then, of course, we always are so excited when we see all the people that are viewing the videos and sharing and liking. And Lydia just made the comment earlier today that she had people sharing and liking the last video that she hadn't seen for a while.
Yeah. People that don't usually interact with me on social media, they were liking it. It's great.
Social media, it does have its nicks.
Yes.
People dig it out and maybe say that it's not always the best, but this is an example of a positive social media.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to our Spin It podcast, and be sure to watch the videos. You can go to the Growth Alliance website at greaterfortdodge.com and see all the videos there, as well as you'll probably see them on a various social media pages. So look forward to talking to everybody again. And this is Spin It.
Thanks, Cheryl.
And come to Spin Market for all your digital marketing needs.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Producer Man.
Thanks for listening to the Spin It podcast.
Make sure you check out our brand new website at www.spinmarket.com. That's www.spinmarket.com.
And follow us on social media at Spin Market to keep up to date with all that's happening.
If you'd like to sponsor an episode of the Spin It podcast, fill out the form on our website, www.spinmarket.com.
And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channels so you never miss an episode.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Spin It.